Hey folks, I hope you are having a fantastic start to the work week. I just got back from a gorgeous retreat that I was on with my coach and my mastermind sisters last week. So this is my first day back in a while and I'm settling in, and I wanted to take a minute to pop into the group and share with you an interesting story that has to do with my daughter. And so I was watching her play this little game that we have, and it's like a little wooden fishing pole with a string and a magnet on the end of it, and then there's all these little wooden fish that have magnets near their mouth. And she was frustrated to the nth degree by this very simple toy. She kept trying to smack the fish with the string and was forcing it and trying so hard to make this work. And had she realized that if she just stepped back, calmed down a little bit, and just dangled the fishing, the little fishing magnet over the fish, it sort of almost jumps up and clings to the fishing pole. And so I hope the way I described that, you sort of get the concept of this, that she was making this little game so much more challenging and frustrating and upsetting than it needed to be. And the reason I wanted to share this today is because I see this play out again and again with the women that I'm working with inside Success Made Simple Academy, the women of my mastermind, the women in this community. I see you posting in the group about these little frustrations. And so often it's a frustration of our own creation. And we're making something that could be relatively easeful and possibly even enjoyable into a problem or a headache, and we're giving it meaning and a story. So to give some context around this, I think that this often occurs when we're launching something, right? It's like we're putting out a coaching offer and we're looking for some clients for it. We're trying to fill a small group program. We're trying to sell something and it's not going the way we want, and we start freaking out and we make it into this huge big deal, and we make the lack of sales mean something instead of it just being no one's buying yet. What haven't I tried? What worked for me last time if you've sold something before? Are there other ways I can be explaining this or showing this up? Can I tweak my marketing a little bit? Can I go on more Facebook Lives? And being in a place of open curiosity to work with this situation and make it better, we shut down. We're like, oh my God, no one's buying. This isn't working. Nobody wants this program. I'm a terrible coach. I don't know how to market it. Everything's going wrong. And that energy makes us not take the necessary healthy steps to learn and grow and probably get some sales as you move forward. And so I wanted to paint this picture with my daughter first, because I think it's so obvious when we're observing children. It's they can't get their coat off, and so they're screaming and ripping at the coat, and all they need to do is calm down and unzip it. Or, they can't get their shoe on, or they can't find a toy, and they erupt in emotion, and they create such a big problem out of something that to us as an adult, seeing it from the outside, seems small and solvable. And this is something I say to my girls all the time. I'm like, girls, this is a fixable problem. This is something that we can do something about. This doesn't have to be so painful. This is a fixable problem. And hopefully that's useful language for you as well, that if you're in a situation right now where you're feeling stuck or struggling and you're in your head a lot, making the problem bigger and bigger and bigger, what can we do to take a step back and look at it as if you were an outsider? Stop giving it so much meaning of why people, if it's a situation where people aren't buying, why people aren't buying. It doesn't mean you're a bad person or it's a bad program or whatever the things are you're saying to yourself. It just means that you have an opportunity to improve something so that next time it becomes that much easier. And so I would really encourage you to embrace this. The next time something comes up for you, whether it's in business or life, that you can tell you're kind of going off the deep end about and spiraling in a negative direction, bring it back, remind yourself, this is a fixable problem, and see, after taking a couple deep breaths maybe, what little steps, little solutions present themselves. Because I guarantee that making this totally into a huge blown up sort of situation is not going to move you forward faster in life, in business. It's not going to attract more clients to you. Being in that sort of like chaotic, frantic, upset energy is not an energy you want to be around, right? When your kid's flipping out like that, you're like, oh man, like you don't want to be around it. Like maybe you have to be to like keep them safe or whatever, but you don't want to be around that energy. You'd much prefer like having a happy situation to deal with. And same thing when you, even if you're thinking even if it's all internal, we give off vibes, guys. Like I'm sure you felt that before. Like when you can just like tell that your partner or your kid or your mom or your sister or your friend is like pissed off or upset, like you can feel those vibes, even if they're not verbalizing it. And the same thing's happening for you. If you're totally freaking out about this fixable problem, you're giving off repellent vibes, essentially. And we don't want you doing that. We want you giving out attractive vibes, things that are going to draw the right people to you. And so I am here to support you in this group. If this is, ringing true for you, I would love for you to share in the comments what is the fixable problem that you are dealing with right now. And, if I have any advice to offer any of the other fellow members do, we can support you through that. And also, if you are a new member or you just happen not to have joined my email list yet, I would love to connect with you there. I send out my weekly podcast episode, and also you'll get a free copy of my 3-day workweek schedule when you sign up for the list. And it gives you a totally broken down hour by hour look at my 3-day work week and how I've arranged my time to create an abundant 6-figure business while working part-time hours. So if you're currently dealing with that problem of figuring out your schedule, trying to figure out where everything lands, how to put healthy boundaries around your time, solvable, totally solvable. This is a fixable problem. Head on over to kaylanasher.com and get a copy of my free 3-day workweek schedule. Take care, guys.